I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, if you could give me a thumbs up. Okay, excellent, excellent. Welcome to our Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy, our very first ever new parent technology training. I'm Miss Garrett, the assistant principal this school year, and I will be your presenter. I'm really excited that you guys came. I know a lot of you probably have a lot of questions and wonderings about how things work here at BOMLA with all the uncertainties and knowing that your student, which we call brother, is going to have to work on the computer. We want to make sure that we are best preparing you all for this exciting new adventure. Also on the call today, or the training, is our principal. Mr. Jackson, did you want to say hello?
I just wanted to thank you all for joining in and being very flexible with us as we get updates on how we're going to start this school year. And it's certainly a pleasure to be here with you. And thank you very much, Ms. Garrett.
Okay. All right, you all. So I really want to respect your time. Mr. Jackson, are you able to see the participants as people are waiting in the lobby? If you could admit them.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Miss Garrett, I'm sorry. This is Priscilla, the interpreter. Just wanted to check in that I'm here as well, if in case you need interpretation.
Excellent. And thank you so much. Ms. Priscilla's here. If you need Espanol, in the lower left-hand corner, it says interpretation. And Priscilla, did you want to just go ahead and say that in Spanish for them?
Sí, está diciendo la subdirectora Guerra que en la parte inferior derecha que hay una opción donde puede hacer clic donde dice intérprete, hay como un icono del mundo y puede hacer clic para escuchar la información en español. I'm not seeing that in my, okay, got it.
Okay, I hope they all, if you need interpretation, it's in the bottom right-hand corner. So we are very, very happy to have Ms. Priscilla here with us today to do that. All right, so let's begin. I'm going to share the screen. I did put in the chat, if you have not already signed up, to go ahead and sign up for this session. That way we can email you the PowerPoint presentation and the copy of the video and any other information. We're also going to be doing a interactive Q&A. So we have a Jamboard, and then you can also put questions in the chat box, and we're going to record all of the questions from Jamboard in the chat box, and we will make you all a Q&A document in English and in Spanish that we'll send to you as long as you have signed in. Make sure you register so that we can send you everything, and then that'll kind of save time also. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here we go. So welcome to the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy. We have a wonderful administrative team this year. We're being led this year by our principal, Mr. Rashad Jackson. I'm Ms. Amber Garrett, your assistant principal. We also have our wonderful counselor, Ms. Keisha Johnson, and our office manager, Mrs. Shamandra Lane. So we're all here as the admin team to assist you this year. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. We'll be having several meetings and trainings this way, so we hope that this is a flexible way for you to learn, and so that we can help support you and your student. All right. Okay, so this is welcome again. We're excited to welcome you to this school year. We do have a lot of changes. Some things are traditional and they always stay the same. But once again, we are definitely excited to have you guys here. Okay, and just a quick reminder about what I've already notified you all on, and that's to sign in using that Google Doc. If you sign in later this evening, that's fine. I'll wait a few days. I have a meeting tomorrow, so after tomorrow's meeting, I'll gather all the email addresses and we'll send. So if you can't sign in right at this moment, it's okay. Just remember to do that before tomorrow evening. questions. If you have questions during this meeting, there is the Jamboard link and then the chat box. So make sure you use our chat box. We will record those questions. Mr. Jackson's working the chat box to copy and paste those out of there. And then we will email you the Q&A document in English and Spanish. Okay, so here at the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy, because you all are our new parents, so this is really exciting. It would have been a really exciting adventure for you and your student anyway, because you're entering in our new campus. But I want to make sure that you know, and just give me one second. We do have a mission and a vision. Sorry, I had to answer my phone. We do have a mission and a vision here. And we also have a campus motto. So you'll always hear us reciting the mission, and that's to develop young men into impactful leaders through the development of their intellectual, moral, physical, social, and emotional skills for the global society of tomorrow. And then also our vision is the school of today for tomorrow's leaders. And then our motto is believe, achieve, succeed. So your brother student will know this very well, because we do recite these things every morning in Lyceum. And we do remain focused on our mission, vision, and motto and our creed in everything that we do as adults and as students in the building. All right, so today's training is going to cover 5 areas, and we are going to give you today the brief overview of all the different technology things that are going to be happening with your student on this campus. So we don't want to dive too deep into things, but we will be producing a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of to do and how to do this, how to support your student, because we do have a brand new YouTube channel. But today we didn't want to bog you down with a lot of technical details, more so just try to give you a way to know where to go. So you'll know that for district hardware, this is where we will go, et cetera, et cetera. So those are the 5 areas we're going to cover today. Okay, so our purpose of parent technology training is based on our creed here at the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy. One line in the creed, line 7, states, we are loyal to our family. So that means that we are loyal to not only our personal families, but as the administrative team and staff here on campus, we're loyal to all the families that we serve. Our campus commitment this year, based on being loyal to families, is we are committed to showing firm and constant support to our families. We will host multiple trainings and meetings to help our families navigate the new virtual learning environment. And we will also provide families several ways to receive campus communications and tech support. So we had a very interesting spring. I think this campus is the best. So we did a great job in the spring of getting online. Our teachers are phenomenal. Our students are phenomenal. And we were pretty much up and rolling a lot quicker than most campuses. I think before we left for spring break, we had a game plan. We were ready. We had already had student meetings, set expectations, and the brothers did an awesome job of online learning. And our teachers here are exemplar and the best in the district. And so we did not have a lot of hiccups when it came to online learning. And so we're really excited to continue that work. And we've added a lot of just best practices for us to improve our work for this school year. All right, so I'm going to tell you about our district hardware, especially for you all if you're a new parent with a student entering the campus. If you do not have district hardware, this is a very important section. So the district will issue Chromebooks and hotspots. Their service agreement with you is that each Dallas ISD secondary student, if you are already in the district, you already have the device. If you don't, you will receive it here on campus. We'll have a day where you come and you pick up the item. We'll have other things that you check out. It's generally going to be about a week before we begin school. So we will let you know when that event is happening, and we're very flexible about you all coming to pick up items for the brothers. So even if you can't make that date, it's okay. We will work with you on that, but we will have a big pickup day for you and your students. We also have Wi-Fi hotspots that the district will provide. And so when you receive this slide deck, you can go in. These links will be active. And if there's any resource that you need, you just click the resource. As things happen, if I need to update things, it will be live so that you can always view it and interact with it throughout the school year. And if I need to update links, I will do that. So your student will get a device, and if you need a Wi-Fi hotspot for your home, that is available if you use that link right there. All right, so the district software. So where do we begin? I've been in Remind, so if you're already on our Remind, and I'll talk about that later, but I do work in Remind with you all, so I send the announcements and the messages, and if you message me back, I'll help you. Sometimes it takes a day or so, just depending on how busy we get here, but I'm on Remind like early in the morning, late at night, so that's a great place to reach me if you have an emergency type of situation on Remind as I'm sending things out. So we have had a lot of questions with students and parents and like, what do we do? Where do we begin? So I always say that the best practice is to begin with your EAD and your email. So if you can get your student accustomed to logging into district email, that's going to be the first step. And that's something you can work on as early as tomorrow, just getting them used to, on any computing device, logging into their email. And they may not have an email today, but I will begin to send 6th grade emails just to kind of check on them and teach them so they can reply back to me if they need anything, and just to try to see like who's on the email and getting in there. So we'll begin that probably next week, just checking in on our new students. Even if you're not in 6th grade, I'll add, if you're a 9th grade, 8th, any of our new students across the board, I'll begin to try to email them. So start to get them used to logging into their email. So the email can be a little cumbersome and overwhelming for younger students because they might not be accustomed to having to check email. I know a lot of us, we work and we have email, we have personal emails, but for students, if they haven't ventured into that world yet, you might have to provide guidance. And I will also be producing videos for the brothers, and so they'll have videos on how to do things too. We're just trying to get started, and there's someone that knows how to do something, then you feel free to go right on ahead. All right. So EAD is our one login for everything that we use here in Dallas ISD. If you're a Dallas ISD employee, you know all about EAD. If you know any students or you're familiar with the district, you know we've had EAD for a very long time. We do have a new system, however, for resetting our passwords. We were on Remedy Force not that long ago. Honestly, like a week ago, we were on Remedy Force. We're now on One Access. And so we've reset all the campus passwords to BOMLA at 2020, capital B at 2020. If you're having issues with that password, please contact the IT department. I sent that in the Remind, but on this slide deck, you'll get their phone number also. If I need to contact on behalf of the campus, like if it's everyone having problems with that, then I will do that as we get more requests. But for now, if it's just one-offs, then you guys can go ahead and just call and they'll help you with the reset. But we did have that password reset for you all at the beginning of the month, just to make it easier for all returning students to get their login set. So the EAD controls everything. When they log into their campus computer, when they are logging into their district email, Clever, like every resource your student is going to need EAD. And so I have children of my own. I have 2 sons, and so they're school age and we're going through the same thing. The one thing I do is, as a parent, I put their login in my phone, and then I also just record it somewhere on my computer, write it down for my children at home. So you'll find creative ways to record those passwords at home and keep them, because children in this age group, even all the way up to seniors in high school, they will forget their passwords and they will need your assistance in being organized while you all are at home. So that's one thing. You can reset with that, and that link will be there when you receive the slide deck if you need it. And I've sent it several times in the remind, and I'll continue to send that for you if you need it. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Outlook is our student email, and to the far right of the screen, you're going to see how that looks when you click on this site. And so it's through the Outlook 365 suite. There are a lot of tools in there for the students, including Word, PowerPoint. There's a lot there, but if you go there and you look for Outlook, that is our student email. What we're asking is that if you can help your student to check their email at least twice a day, because on a campus level, we will be sending communications, and their teachers will also be communicating with them on their student email. So one best practice might be to check it at the beginning of the morning when they begin work, and then maybe at lunch, and then maybe at the end. That would be 3, but the more times they check it, the better they can stay more up to date on what's happening on campus. And then at the bottom, I did let you guys know, just for safety and security of your student and your family, please do not use personal email addresses for the student communications. As parents, you guys give us your personal things and we talk back and forth all the time, and that's fine. But for the safety of your children, if you could please just remind them that when they're talking to their teachers and adults and staff here for campus and for their work, that they need to stay on their student email. And if you have any questions or concerns about that, let me know. Sometimes the kids will reach out to me on their personal email when they're struggling with getting on school email, and that's fine. Once I get them on school email, that communication has been cut. So just remember, it's okay if they need to reach out just that one time to get help, but they shouldn't be on their personal email throughout the entire school year for their online instruction.
And Ms. Garrett, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead, Mr. Jackson.
But Ms. Dewberry just sent a message saying that parents are waiting for permission to join, and I'm not seeing on my access that I can.
Okay, let me, I do see them. I have them now. Thank you. Can you all see it on the screen? Okay, thank you, Mr. Jackson. I can see them.
Okay.
And I think Ms. Johnson called, and I'm pretty sure that's what Ms. Johnson wanted, was to let me know. I had 10 in there. So if you're just joining the meeting, welcome. In the chat, we do have the sign in if you haven't done that, and we're using Jamboard for questions and the chat for questions. And so we really just started, so welcome. It will be recorded, so you will get this. If you need Espanol, there's an interpretation in the bottom right-hand corner. Priscilla, can you do that one more time for us? Okay, Priscilla, we can't hear you over here. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We have new parents that entered on this side. Can you tell them about the interpretation service in Spanish?
Me?
Yes. Priscilla, are you there? She might not can hear me if she's on her side. So that's okay. If you need Spanish, there is a interpretation button. It's a world, and you can click it to Spanish if you need it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so moving on, you guys. We have, and thank you everyone else for your patience while we did that. We want to make sure we're all in here together. We have our learning management systems, which are Google Classroom, or it will be PowerSchool Learning. daily for your child's classroom instruction. And so just keep in mind that we are right now making a campus decision about that, which one is going to be, whether it will be Google Classroom or Power School Learning. Last year, we had an option and the teachers were using both. But this year, we've been given directive that we can only use one for the campus. So as soon as we get that information, we will let you know. And then video conferencing is the same situation. We will choose between Zoom, Google Meet, and then there's also an option called Microsoft Teams. And so as soon as the campus, we'll be getting teacher feedback and deciding on that. And we will let you know what our campus-wide systems will be, but those are pretty much the options that we have to choose from. And once again, for security and safety of your students, your family, please do not let your students engage in any other type of video conferencing or learning management systems for school. If you are seeing that they're on systems that you know as a campus we have not approved, if you could please reach out to us and let us know so that we can quickly alleviate that problem and get that resolved as soon as possible. All right. All right, so here's Clever. Clever is a really very nice place for students. If you look on here, you'll notice that you have a Google Classroom and you have a Power School Learning here. You also have your students' Google Drive, All in Learning, Khan Academy. So there are some really nice, this is an elementary view, but your students will have a lot more things on the secondary level. This is a really nice place to start if you want your student to log in and have a place where you know that they can start the day. Clever will be a great place to start the day. Remember, they have to have their EAD login to get to Clever, but once they're there, then they can kind of click into whatever systems that they know they're going to be working in for the day. So it's a great place to begin. All right. All right, so now we're going to look at our campus and the things that are unique to Barack Obama. So we gave ourselves the name iBOMLA, and it is indicative to the interactive campus. So the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy is interactive now. And of course, we know the world we're living in, so it's very necessary. So when you see iBOMLA on something, that's just us telling you that it is a part of the interactive campus. All right, so one thing we have this year that you should be receiving one way or the other is our Believe, Achieve, Succeed newsletter by our principal, Mr. Jackson. So every week, Mr. Jackson does send you a newsletter, usually on Mondays, about what's going on in the world of BOMLA. And of course, Believe, Achieve, Succeed is our motto. So that's very exciting to see that. And this is a new newsletter for us this year, so we're really excited. So as a parent, you will have access to that at all times. If you're in here, if you could check your mics, everyone, and just make sure that you're muted. I'll try to go through and mute any that I see. But if you need anything, then that's the newsletter Mr. Jackson sends every week. So that is a part of our iBOMLA Interactive Campus. And even when we are live and we go back to normal instruction, whatever day, when that happens, you'll still receive your newsletter. All right. We also have our new instructional website for BOMLA, and it's iBOMLA. That's actually the name of it. So me and Mr. Jackson are there. You see we're Bitmojis in our interactive teachers lounge. This is where you can go, you and your student. We like to repost things, but this is where everything is posted. So if you need help finding an online class, if you need just something pertaining to parent training, you need any information, it will always be posted here on iBOMLA. It will link you to wherever you need to go. So it's a central location for our instruction here on campus. So you can visit that now. We update it a lot. It will be updated for the start of the school year, but we will be using that heavily. So if we say go to the iBOMLA site, that's what we mean when we've posted something for you guys to help with your students. All right, we have the iBOMLA Leadership Lounge this year, which is brand new. It does require a Power School Learning login, which is your student's EAD. I should have added that. It's the same thing as EAD. So once they have that together, which EAD is, I didn't say it earlier, but it is your student's student ID number. And then if they use that BOMLA password and then they get that reset, they'll have their unique password, but it is the student ID number. And then in the email, there's a special way that we do email today. I sent it out in Remind, but if you need that again, we'll repost it several times for how to do the email if you're outside of the district. All right, so iBOMLA is our leadership lounge. It is for the brothers to have an opportunity to have that same spirit of BOMLA that we normally have. BOMLA is a very special place, and I'm saying BOMLA, and I forget you guys are new parents, so we say BOMLA. Those are the alphabets, acronym for the school name, so we say BOMLA a lot. I'm sorry. But the spirit of BOMLA is a very different, special place. And we wanted to make sure that we were holding to our traditions, even during this time of virtual learning. And so here at BOMLA, we have what's called Lyceum every morning. All of the brothers and staff, we join together for about 40 minutes together in fellowship, and we have character development. We have special speaker series. We do a lot of different things in Lyceum, student announcements, teacher announcements, but that's every morning we're together. So we miss each other a lot about right now. And we needed a way to make that interactive. So that's where the Leadership Lounge comes in. So Lyceum for your student will be interactive. It will be over Zoom like this or whatever we choose. But we will still have Lyceum every morning. We'll have advisory that happens after Lyceum in the mornings. All the teacher Bitmoji classrooms and links will also be here. So if your student is already in Lyceum and then they go to advisory, they can just quickly carry from advisory to their teacher's class from here also. The Beacon Junior is our Brothers newsletter. So it's the newsletter for students. The Beacon is the newsletter internally for adults. So the kids have their own newsletter, the Beacon Junior. We will store our virtual clubs here, and then any other important websites or resources that you will need for them. But it's really a space for them, the students, the brothers. It's their place to have that camaraderie and the brotherhood, and just kind of keep that. We do discussions in there. We have a good time over there. So it's an interactive place for us to keep the spirit of BOMLA alive. And once again, when I send this slide deck, you'll receive the links. Those links are clickable, so you can share it. The students will receive it also, so they'll have access to linking into all these resources. Okay, so I mentioned the Bitmoji classrooms. This year at Barack Obama, we are going to make a commitment. All the teachers will have a Bitmoji classroom. If you're not familiar with the Bitmoji classroom, Okay, if you're not familiar with the Bitmoji classroom, you will see that the teachers create themselves as a Bitmoji, and those are the cartoon characters, and everything in the classroom is interactive. It's virtual, so you can click like that's me to the right and that's Mr. Jackson. This is our teachers lounge, so the teachers will have different types, but we designed it to be a teacher's lounge, and it lends itself to the White House decor. So the teachers, I'm sure, will have a lot of exciting and creative things that they are going to do with their Bitmoji, and we're really excited for that. So when your students log into class, they'll go through this Bitmoji classroom, and when they're here, they will have a example where it might say the agenda of the day. So they click and they get the agenda of the day. They may have assignments. So the teachers will be organizing themselves virtually for the students so that they can interact with them through this type of beautiful. I really like the Bitmoji classroom. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So we'll see what the teachers come up with. So, all right. So that will be in that. All right. So as we're nearing the end, we wanted to make sure that on a technology note, today was just really an overview. We wanted to make sure you knew about the tools and how to log in. When I send the email about with this slide deck to you all, I will send the email login directions also, so you can work with your students on how to log in. We have a lot of new social media this year, and so I wanted to make sure that we were sharing these things with you. If you're here, then that means 9 times out of 10, you are connected with us in some way. So our motto for social media is stay connected. So you'll see me putting that on the flyers. You'll see that on a lot of things, just so you can kind of be looped in on what's going on the campus. It's a little more, it's difficult to connect with people when you're not with them face to face every day. So we really did have to create some things and ways for all of us to stay connected with each other. So let's go over those briefly. So we will always say these are the ways we communicate, WWC. We do have a Facebook page. So when you receive this slide deck, you follow us on Facebook and connect with us. We'd love to hear from you and interact with you on there. We have our tried and true. Our Twitter has been there for many years, and we are still there, very much so alive on Twitter. Instagram is new, so we do have a new Instagram if you like that social media outlet. And then brand spanking new is our YouTube channel. We do and will have a YouTube channel that is for you. We have an in-house YouTube channel for staff and the work that we do, but you guys will now have a YouTube channel where we will be highlighting a lot of very good news coming out of the campus. This video will be on our public YouTube channel, so feel free. We'll send the links, and so you'll be able to follow us and subscribe, like, click the notification bell, do all of that for our new YouTube channel. And of course, we have our campus main website. We're working very hard to get that updated for you. The teacher pages will be updated so you can click and find information and classroom information for those teachers. So we're working really hard to stay connected and to make this process as seamless and a very easy process for you, with a lot of different ways for you, whatever makes you comfortable with communicating with us. All right, and then of course there's Remind. So this is important because a lot of you are already on Remind, and I spend a lot of time every day moving you around on Remind. So if you see yourself being moved around on Remind, it's because the scholars have their Remind groups, and then you as the parents, you're at the bottom. Your Remind groups are different, but generally I send the same messages to all the groups. Everyone gets the same message. But some of my scholar groups, especially 8th grade, is too big. And so I have to make sure I'm always moving parents into middle school 2, which is the last one for grade 8. So just make sure that as a parent, if I have mostly 6th grade in here, you all will be BOMLA MS parents, the top one. That's iBOMLA MSP1. And so you just need to find at the bottom here your grade level for you, and then your student is at the top. So the brothers, they use the actual Scholars Remind. So make sure that they're in there with their device. Because sometimes we, like if 6th grade has a virtual field trip or we need to send something to them, we will just only send it to their group. So that's Remind. Feel free to join. A lot of you have already been joining. So we're so happy to have you in our Remind community. All right, so tech support. So I know you're like, oh, they just kind of blew through this and I didn't write notes, and that's okay, because we'll always send you documents and videos and a lot of other things to help you. But there are a lot of other ways that you can receive tech support this school year, and we've added some new ways here on campus, and also the district has a great support system for you all. Let's see, so tech support on a district level. The big, broad the more than likely type of tech support needed is always the EAD password reset. So if you need to reset the password for your student, or they need to reset, that One Access site is there. They can click that link and they should be able to reset the password. If they are not able to use that, or it's the password is timed out, or there's something quirky happening with that site, you can always call the IT service desk. They are very, very friendly and very efficient. And it's best to handle that now, new parents. I don't know if you're familiar with the district, but when people begin online learning, it's going to get really busy, and there are going to be a lot of people trying to reset passwords and those types of things. So between now and the next few days, I would say probably try to get it done before the 27th, because the teachers are going to be back working on the 27th, and they will now start pouring into the phone lines to get their EAD. So you've got to get in there between now and before the teachers decide, oh yeah, let me reset my password. So make sure you handle that pretty soon if you're having issues with that, so that your student is already set up and logged in for that. So we, let's see, I'm still at making sure we are all here. Okay, and then finally, what's really exciting for us is our tech support on the campus level. We have always provided really good tech support and any kind of support that you needed, but it has been all of us kind of on my email, the Remind, we're all supporting different communication outlets. And so we really wanted to make sure that we centralize that process for you this year. And if you're new, you're probably like, oh, well, I didn't experience any of that anyway, and that's fine too. But we are creating, or have created, the BOMLA Help Desk form, and that's for campus. So if you're struggling with a teacher and you need help with like logging into like a teacher class, or it's something to do with campus, or you just need help, like you don't even know where to begin with what you need help with, then you can fill out this form, and we will guide you into, we'll either have the answer or we'll refer you to who can assist you and your students. So we are doing this to make life a lot easier for you this school year, and we hope that that works out well. So that's support for technology and instruction questions. All right, and then number 2, we're saying just email us. So that link will link you to emails. So it'll have Ms. Dewberry, who is our data controller. Ms. Martinez is our registrar. So if you're still trying to work out some of those items as far as enrollment, then you can email them before you make any plans to visit. And speaking of visiting, I did put a note of, due to the public health and safety concerns related to COVID-19, we will not be accepting any in-person appointments on this campus. If you need assistance, please email us first, whoever it is you need to speak to, call the phone so that we can let you know what's going to happen. We know in some instances you have physical things that you need to drop off at campus. And so in that case, that's fine, but we have a procedure on how we are handling that right now, which means we might buzz you into the front corridor, and there will be something there for you to put the document or whatever you're dropping off. You will be able to drop it in the corridor, and then you will leave the corridor, but you won't have any face-to-face interaction with a person, and we will not be allowed to admit you into the front office. So just keep that in mind, to call and email to set that up so that we can make sure we have what we're receiving your documents or whatever with, because we want to make sure we're keeping everyone healthy and safe during this time, including you and your students and your families. All right. And that's actually all that I have on this slide. Let's see. I know, Mr. Jackson, are you capturing the chat?
Mm-hmm. There's a few questions in the chat, and they've been the same questions that we've been hearing, and I completely understand the concerns. So a lot of people are asking about login problems for their enrollment. We apologize that you all are having these difficulties, but so we can work with you individually. Starting tomorrow, you can call and make an appointment, and we'll help you one-on-one. So that's the concern that I see with two of the parents. Another question is about the school supplies. For right now, since we do not have a final decision from the district as to how we're going to open and when we're going to open, we don't want you to go out and purchase school supplies. Once we do have a definite response from the district, and Dr. Hinojosa, the superintendent, said that will be coming after the school board meeting. So that's going to be an announcement that should be made either Thursday or Friday. So we should be able to let you all know these are your options, and this is what we would like you to do with the school supplies. I just saw another question about uniforms. You will not be required to wear your uniform unless you're coming to campus. So if you are going to come to campus, if that's an option for you on September the 8th, we're going to give you all at least a week or two, a 2-week period as a grace period or leeway, so that you have the opportunity to make the appointment and get fitted and buy your uniform. So if you do decide that you're going to do in-person learning for those first 2 weeks, we will give you a 2-week period. So I think that was the only other question. There was a question about and I've seen this question a couple times too. Okay, so when are we going to get the computers? The district is giving computers to elementary schools first, because last year all secondary students were given devices. All of our students should have devices, except for new students. So 6th graders, and also new to the district 7th graders to 12th graders. When we get the date, which will be in the first week of September, we'll reach out to you all with one of the many different communication methods that we have, and we'll let you all know several different ways that these are the dates when you can come up to pick up your Chromebook and or a Wi-Fi hotspot. I see another question. Looks like it's about when will we have an option, and I've heard this a few different times too. When will we have an option to choose between homeschool and going to the campus? District is going to send out a survey, and it's going to give you the opportunity to say, this is my choice. If you choose in person and you decide that that's something that you are going to change your mind about after you start it, that's fine. You can always opt out and use at-home distance learning. If you choose distance learning, then you do have to stick with that choice for the grading period, which will be for 9 weeks. So that's going to be communicated to you all also when the district sends out that survey, and that's going to be coming after they make the announcement as to how they're gonna open. And if there was a question that I missed, I'll apologize. We will take all of the questions that we have here in the chat, and we'll make sure that those are answered from this meeting and also from the next meeting.
Right. I do see some questions about attendance.
Okay.
A question from Ms. Rodriguez about will classes be only 2 days a week? That is going to be a high school blended option. So if you have a high school student, then yes, that will be the high school blended option. Whenever we find out exactly what day we're going to be face-to-face. And then I think 9th and 10th will be on campus Mondays and Tuesdays, and 11th and 12th will be on campus on Thursdays and Fridays. But our middle schoolers, grades 6 through 8, will be, if you choose face-to-face and the district opens up for face-to-face, your students will be with us Monday, Will they be with us on Wednesdays also?
They'll be here Monday through Friday.
Yes. Okay.
And so just to make sure this is clear also, if you choose to do the in-person and you're in high school, you're still going to have class 5 days a week, but you'll only come to campus twice a week. You know, you're still gonna receive classes though.
Yes, and it's also important to let you all know that each campus was charged with creating their own campus plan, and so it will look different on different Dallas ISD campuses as far as how things happen on that particular campus. But as far as our campus is concerned, we will be very heavily virtual, which means that your student will need to be virtual even when they're here with us. They will be using a lot of virtual components. So when you pack them for school in the morning, they'll have to bring their laptop. They will have to be prepared to log in because they will work on their computer during the day while they're here on campus also. Okay. I think you got it all.
There was one question about the Remind app, and I think that the parent, maybe there was some misunderstanding. So the Remind app, that's not supported by the district. That's just in-house. So you would just, with a text message, send the message to the address for your corresponding grade, and that's how you register for that.
Remind app. And I did send you all, I sent that parent a private message to email me if you need assistance. I'm going to put my email in the chat box if you need anything between now and later. Mr. Jackson, can you do the same for?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to put that in there. And there was a question about transportation, and that's been a question that's been asked by several parents also. I'll put the phone number for transportation in there, but they more than likely are going to ask you to allow the district to make the decision on how they're going to open. And then once they decide how they're going to open, they'll be able to give you some clear guidance on how transportation is going to work, because that's certainly a question that has been going on for some time. But I'll put the transportation contact number in there, and I'll put my contact information.
Okay, and then also, let's see, I guess that's everything. I'm gonna save the chat and we will go through it to make sure that we're gonna formally answer all of this. Next Tuesday, we have our Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy virtual open house. And so we are hoping that as we get announcements at the end of this week, we should be able to give you all a lot more cohesive and relevant information for open house. So make sure that you watch out for those links and sign in for that. Once I'm done with this, I'll send the things for open house for you. So that we'll have the latest updates for when we come into open house. All right, if you have anything else, just feel free to email us. We're here, we work here in the building every day, and we are just working to try to make sure that we have everything ready for our virtual learning and for just making sure we have a successful start of the school year. We know there are a lot of uncertainties, but the one certainty we definitely know is that we will be online learning, and we plan on making the best of that situation and providing you very high quality and engaged instruction for your student this school year. So, Mr. Jackson, did you have anything else?
No, just thank you all very much. We're in a situation right here where if we could give you more information, we would, but we certainly don't want to say, hey, it's gonna be like this, but then it's not. So I have a daughter in Dallas ISD, and so I was on a webinar last night. I'm not sure if any of you all were on that webinar, but there were lots of these same questions, and I completely understand the concern that you have. So as soon as we know, we'll make sure that you all get that information, and we're preparing for students here on September the 8th. So if you're to come to the building, you'll see we got the sanitizing station set up. We got the arrows. We got the social distancing. We are ready for you all on the 8th if that's your decision. I mean, if that's an option for us.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for attending. Reach out if you need us at any time. We have put our emails in the chat so you can get those. The school number is on the website, and I will be sending you this slide deck and the logging into email for students and some more information. And make sure you've registered. The Jamboard is still there at the top of the chat. If you needed to put your question on the Jamboard, we'll accept that, and that's only for this meeting. So that's all that we have. You guys have a great evening, and we will see you on Tuesday the 25th for our virtual open house. All right.
Thank you all.
You guys.